TheraBand today, so go ahead and grab those. Let's lay them lengthwise like I have on my mat, and we'll go ahead and get started. You're going to lay on your back, placing your hips at the end of your foam roller, and just rolling yourself down so that your whole spine, head to tail, is on your foam roller. And you're going to keep your arms just on the floor for balance. And just try to see if you can get a little more length through the back of your waist and place your feet flat. Okay, you want to get rid of that space. Not entirely, it's early. You just want to try and lengthen it out. So, with the arms reaching, let's slowly take one leg up and then the other, and find your balance here. And you want to really work to imprint your spine, this area, into the foam roller. So as we lower, we're going to inhale the right leg and lower. Exhale, use your navel pulling under the ribs to bring the leg back up. And the other side, inhale and exhale, bring it back up. And right leg again, and exhale, bring it back up. So your abdominals are doing the work. Left leg, and bring it back up. Trying to engage the lower glutes and the outer hips so that you don't have to move your pelvis. Exhale, and left, exhale, right leg, exhale, and left leg, exhale. Hold it here. Squeeze those outer hips and lower buns. As you lower, dip both legs into the water, both toes. Exhale, use your belly to come back up. Now you only want to go as low as you can maintain the imprint. I don't want to see that space under your waist, right? We want to keep that imprinted. And inhale, lower, exhale. And lower, exhale. And two more. Just warming up. And last one, exhale. And bring both feet down one at a time. Take them outside your mat. And just let the knees roll to the right. Let the pelvis roll to the right. And reach that left arm. Just trying to get a little stretch through that low back area. And bring the knees back up. And roll the knees to the other side. And come back up. Good. Now you're just going to slide off the foam roller. Watch your hair. If you have long hair, it will get caught under there. And we're going to bring it on our back right here. Right? So it's going to go under the shoulder blade area. Right about there. Yeah? So we're going to take our hands behind our head and just let your head be heavy in your hands, bringing the elbows slightly forward. And we're just going to reach over the foam roller. Bring the elbows in and think of yawning the armpits. Open and exhale. Use your abdominals. Close the ribs and slide them down towards your hips. And again, bring the elbows forward, arching back over the foam roller. And exhale, curl, slide the ribs. Head is just hanging in your hands. One more. And inhale back. And exhale, curl back up. And then I'm going to have you slide down just a little bit so that you can really try to pull the back of your rib cage down, the lower part. And let's lift the right leg and the left leg. Reach the arms here, really pressing those lower ribs back into the floor, and we're pumping in twos. If you feel comfortable, extend the legs. Got to keep this lower rib area pulling into the mat. If you lower the legs, you're going to have to squeeze around the outer hips to keep the ribs pulling back. Nice, you guys. And just go back over the foam roller. You can roll back a little bit if you want. Rolling maybe to the mid-ribs and back. Just a little rocking forward and back. Maybe you've been sitting all weekend, or maybe you worked out a lot and you're sore, but this is really nice on the upper back, mid-back area. All right, let's go ahead and sit up. We're going to take the foam roller and just set it off to the side. And let's go ahead and bend the knees here, placing the feet on the floor and sitting up nice and tall. Hands are just gently on the tops of the shins. We're going to inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, stay long as you curl the waist back. Inhale, lengthen up. And exhale, curl back, squeezing and narrowing through the hips. Inhale, up. So you're leading with the sacrum, not the upper ribs. You want to be careful that you're not pushing into the upper ribs, but you're staying lifted, like you're picking those ribs up and you're curling the tail under, and that's working the lower abs more, right? And up. And curl. We're just warming up here, so it's not super intense, but we are working. It's not passive. Let's take the arms forward. As we exhale and tilt the pelvis, we're going to rotate, take the left arm back. Reach the right fingertips. Inhale, up. Other side, exhale back. Inhale, up. And exhale back, pulling into the obliques, reaching for something on the other side of the room. And up. And right side. And up. And curling back. Good, you guys. And right. And left. Good. One more right. And up, and hold it here. Let's scoot down just a tiny bit, and we're gonna roll all the way down onto the mat. Take the arms overhead. We're gonna go into a roll up. So if you're new and you find that you get caught right here and you can't get up, let's bend the knees and grab on, curl. Then you can extend your legs. And then we're gonna roll back down. And the arms are overhead. So if you want to start with your knees bent, you can, or you can take them straight out, but you want to squeeze and narrow through the hips and draw the belly in so that you're imprinting the spine. Arms are overhead, making sure that you're turning the triceps towards the ceiling. Inhale, the arms come straight up. Exhale, head and chest lift. Slide your ribs towards your pelvis. Peel it off. Rounding up and over, hollowing out the belly, and exhale, rolling back. So we're building on that idea of keeping the rib cage lifted up off the pelvis, right? Like we did rolling back and reaching side to side. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, curl up, peeling it off, scooping those shoulders under, and we're trying to keep this space here, right? We're trying to keep that length. As we go over, inhale, feeling stretch into the ribs, maybe even into the hips and the lower back, rolling back, tucking the tail, pause here. Really try to pull that sacrum, that triangular bone at the bottom of your spine. Try to press it down first, and then take your arms overhead. And let's do one more here. Scoop, 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 up and over. Inhale. This time we're going to keep the arms by the ears. Drag your shoulders down towards your hips. And continue to roll. Keep those arms right next to your ears without letting your shoulders come up. And bring the knees into the chest. Rock side to side. Maybe little circles in each direction, just kind of massaging the area of the back of the pelvis. A lot of muscles connect to the pelvis, so it can really pull your pelvis off kilter. So it's good to just really kind of neutralize here. Let's keep the right knee, extend the left leg. We're going to do a quick supine twist. Take the right arm out. Left hand takes the knee across your body and turn and look to your right hand. Deep breath in. Exhale, reach. And go ahead and bring it back. Let's bend that left knee. We're going to turn out the right leg and place the right ankle on the left thigh. And then we'll go into a figure four stretch. So you can grab under the thigh, on top, or you can use your right elbow to push the knee open as you pull with your left hand. There's kind of a lot of options there, I know. But everybody's going to feel this a little differently. Maybe sway it side to side a little bit, but keep that knee open. Good. And then let's unwind here. Bring your left leg into your chest. Reach your right leg nice and long. And we're going to do that same thing on the other side. Left hand out, cross the body with your left leg, and turn your head to look at your right hand, or your left hand, sorry. You can do palm up or palm down. For me, it helps me more if I have my palm up. So deep breath here. See if you can rotate a little bit more. It's early, so your back may not be that warm yet, so don't push anything. Come back, roll back onto your back. Place the right foot on the floor with a bent knee and turn out your left leg, left ankle on your right thigh. Bring the knee in. And whatever hand hold you did on the other side, you want to do the same. This one is my go-to. Just pushing with my hand and holding with my other hand. Take one more deep breath in. And exhale. All right, so let's go ahead and put that foot down. We're going to bring the right knee into the chest. Extend the left leg hovering off the floor. We're going to go right into single leg stretch. So take an inhale here. Exhale, curl up, scooping those shoulders under and pulsing for 2. And 2. Keep sliding the front of the ribs towards the pelvis. And 4, good. And slide the ribs. Try not to use your neck. The more you can press your lower ribs into the mat, the easier it gets to hold your head up. If your neck is killing you, let your hands help you like a hammock. Don't use your hands to pull on your arm, on your head. I'm trying to do 3 things at once. Thinking it's not working. The words aren't coming out. Good. We're going to go into straight legs, single count. A little faster. Nine and 10. Good. Knees in. Lay your head down and maybe circle your ankles. Sometimes the feet get crampy, so just roll through your feet. Turn your head right and left. Good, and we're going to go right into double leg. Hands on top of the knees. Take an inhale here. Exhale, curl up. Arms and legs reach. Take your fingertips past your ears. Imprint the spine. Exhale. And 2, scoop the belly. And imprint right there. And 4. Good. And 5. And exhale. 7. And 8. 2 more. Last one. And again, lay your head back. And roll it side to side, letting the neck relax. 2 more in our vacation special. Hands behind the head. Take an inhale here. Exhale, curl up for crisscross.
Keep the left knee where it is. Reach the right leg and twist. Try to reach your right bottom rib to your left hip. And stay up and twist to the other side. And up. Shoulders away from the ears. And twist. You want to squeeze the midline with your legs so they're not going off to the corners of your mat. 5, 6, 7, 8, really imprint, 9, and 10, rolling back. And little circles again in each direction, maybe 1 or 2. Last one is leg lowering. We're gonna add curling up. So your hands are again behind your head, and you're gonna curl up and bring those shoulder blades around the sides of the ribs. Take the legs up, inhale here, exhale, lower, squeeze your booty, imprint your spine, and up. And exhale, scoop the belly. Now if you have a low back injury, please put your hands under your hips and lay your head down. And keep it really small, okay? You don't want to get into that low back or aggravate anything. And imprinting the spine. And one more. And bring your knees in. Whew. Wow. I'm feeling that this morning. All right, so let's go ahead and roll over onto our stomach and just give that a little stretch. So we're gonna come up and just stretch a little bit. Don't come too high that you're crunching into your low back, but maybe turn your head left and right, just so you can feel that stretch through the stomach, the whole front line of the body. Good, and come all the way down. Let's come up onto our hands and knees. Staying on our hands. If you have an issue with your wrists, you're more than welcome to come down onto your elbows, okay? So, we're gonna do knee to nose and reach. That's the exercise, right? So if you decide you wanna be on your elbows, I'm just gonna give you this quick direction. If you're on your elbows, you won't do that. You'll just tap one knee down and then zip the legs together and tap the other knee down and zip the legs together, okay? Just depends on how your wrists feel when you're in this position. So go ahead and come to whichever position you choose, and you're gonna reach that right leg and round the spine, knee to nose. And squeeze the legs. And same leg. If you're on your elbows, you're alternating. 3. And 4. Set the right foot down, left leg lifts, and round. Make sure your shoulders stay over your hands. 2, or your elbows. And 3, press your heart towards the ceiling. And 4. And reach, set it down. Set your knees down. Take them a little bit wider and sit back in a child's pose. Maybe pick the elbows up off the floor and melt your chest to the floor. Good. And then let's come back up, and we'll go ahead and have a seat and grab your theraband. So you want to sit on it. So you're right in the middle. Should be fairly even. And you're going to hold on to it. The short end is sticking up. Okay? And we're going to do an overhead press. So think of the elbows rotating forward, and you're going to press slightly forward of your head. So if I turn sideways, I'm just sitting tall, and you're going to take it forward, turning your triceps forward, right? If we let them come out, the shoulders come up. So we want to try and bring those shoulder blades around the side. Inhale,
Exhale, scoop the elbows slightly forward and press it up. Now, if this isn't heavy enough, you can walk your hands further up the theraband and bend. If it's sliding out of your hands, you can take that loose piece and wrap it, and it still won't be too tight. As long as you don't wrap it tight around your hand. And 5, this should be coming from your lats. Scooping under. Natalie, turn your triceps forward more. Yeah, there you go. And reach. That's it. And reach. Good. Feel like those armpits are pressing forward. You should feel your back working. Good. And one more. Hold it there. We're going to take it out and up. Scooping under the shoulders and out and up. Use your back, not just your shoulders. And navel is pulling in. And 5, this is getting hard. And 6, 2 more. 7, and 8. And rest. Whew. Roll your shoulders out. Maybe take one across. Stretch it a little bit. Good. Maybe turn your head. That can give you a little more. Roll it forward a little bit, just depending on where you felt the work. You may need to stretch your neck a little bit. Hopefully it's not too much. All right, and then let's take a theraband and place it. We're just gonna hold it in front of us. We're not gonna do it the other way. All right, so holding it there, don't make it too wide. We're gonna open and feel your shoulder blades pulling together and bring it forward. So it's not like we're going really big, right? We're keeping it pretty small. And we're trying to feel the shoulder blades pulling together, right? So if I turn my back to you, I don't know if you can see this or not, but I'm dragging my shoulder blades towards my spine and down and taking it back forward. And pulling, and you can cross your legs, you can have them out in front of you, whatever feels comfortable. And pull, and forward, and pull. Try to keep it out of the top of your shoulders. Little smaller, keep it small, right? I'm only opening that wide. And open, and close. And open, hold it there. We're gonna keep it about as wide as your mat, right? Drop the shoulders. And we're gonna go up, see how far back you can go. Bend the elbows, pull it down. Reach it back up. As you go up, you're pulling your shoulder blades down and bringing it back forward. Okay, so the whole time, this is totally slack. This is a little bit, right? Just a little bit of tension. I don't want it all in your neck. So up and pull it down. And up and bring it forward. Up and pull it down. Scoop the belly. You're still working through your trunk. And pull it down. Sit taller. And up and pull from the lats. And up and bring it forward. One more. Up and pull it down. Nice work, you guys. And up and forward. Hold it down below your chest and we're pulsing out. 5, 6, 7 from the shoulder blades. 9, 10, and rest. I'm feeling that today a lot. Let's just take a stretch with that. So we're gonna keep it maybe not as tight. And we're just gonna go up and pull the right arm down to the back. And bring it back up. And pull the left arm back and down. And up. Right arm down. And up. And left arm. And up. See if we can go all the way up and over. And back. Up. Just try trying to keep the mobility of the shoulders. If you're working the shoulders and the arms, it's really important to keep the flexibility so you don't get all muscle bound. And up, and back, and up, and forward. Nice. Let's just set this off to the side. Place the feet on the mat, and they should be about hip distance. Hands are going to be behind you. Let's turn the fingertips out to the sides. Take an inhale. Exhale, come up into like a reverse table. Right, lift those hips. You can look straight out, you can look forward, whatever works for you, but we're trying to stretch those shoulders and biceps. And tap the hips down and lift back up. And tap the hips down and lift up. And hips down, good. Now, we're gonna turn the fingertips towards the hips. And if you need to, you can roll the mat up a little bit if your wrists don't like being bent in that position. You can also turn your fingertips out just a little bit. We're doing some triceps, right? So the hands are here. Maybe you have a little angle that you're working at, but you're gonna keep your feet flat. Inhale here. Exhale, hover your hips off the floor. Shift your shoulders back over your wrists, and we're going to do a tiny little dip, keeping up out of the shoulders. So if you look to me for a second, look at my shoulders, don't sink in the shoulders. You want to stay like you're pushing the floor away, and then when you bend, you're still pushing the floor away, right? We're not sinking into our shoulders and coming back up, right? So here we go. We're right here, lifted up out of the shoulders, tiny little bend. And press, and 2, and press, and 3. Elbows reaching straight back, and 4, and 5, good, 6, and 7, 1 more, 8, and set your hips down, and just stretch. Maybe go back, that feels better. Take it over your head. And then let's take it over as a stretch sideways. Try not to let your head push forward here. And switch to the other side. And again, side bending. And coming back up. Good. And let's come back to sitting with the legs straight out in front of you. We're going to roll down and we're going to go into neck pull. It's a terrible name. You're not actually pulling on your neck, but we're going to take the hands behind our head, laying down. So I'll show you the exercise and then we can do it. Starting here, hands are behind the head. On the inhale is when you start your roll up. So you're really reaching through those legs. Inhale, rounding up and forward. Again, going over and keeping this space here. From here, let's flex the feet and roll up, sitting nice and tall, almost like you're pulling your head straight up. And then curl the tail, resist. Your head is still reaching to the ceiling. Your heels are pushing away. And we're doing that same roll that we did earlier. So go ahead and join me. Lay yourself down, reach through the legs, bring those elbows slightly forward so we're separating the shoulder blades. And we begin. Inhale. Exhale. Scoop up and over the legs. Inhale, roll up, sit tall. And stay long as you exhale and roll it back. Again. If you get stuck, bend your knees, curl, then come over. Rolling up and rolling back. And 3.
and rolling up, and rolling back. And one more time. And rolling up, and rolling back, all the way to the floor, and rest. Bring the knees in. I'm scooting off my mat. I'm going to scoot down a little bit. Good. All right, so we're going to rock and roll ourselves back up to sitting. And I want to take us into open leg rocker. So the knees are in front of the shoulders. They're not together, they're apart. And you're keeping them parallel, and the collarbones are wide and the back is wide. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. You're going to tuck the tail, start to roll. Stay in that same curved position. Inhale. Exhale. Come up and balance. Lengthen your spine. And again, inhale. Exhale. And lengthen. Try to keep control, right? Slow as you can. Inhale. That exhale helps you come back up, and then lengthening through the spine. And if you want to challenge yourself, you can extend the legs. Hold on a little higher on the calf, but it makes the lever way longer, so don't flip yourself over backwards. Lift your chest and curl the tail under. Inhale. Exhale. Find your balance, and then grow out of it. Good. Inhale. Exhale. Lift. And again, if you're more comfortable with the bent knees, you can continue to do it with bent knees as well. This will be the last one. Inhale, roll back. And exhale. Find your balance. Bring the legs together. You can leave them here, or you can bend them to tabletop. And we're going to press the fingertips together, connect into the lats, and we're going to rotate right and left. Right, left, left. Try not to let the legs go side to side. Left, right, left, right, and left. And bring the knees in. Place the feet on the floor. And let's just bring the feet together and grab onto your ankles. And you're going to sit up and round over your legs. Stretching into the low back. And then arch the spine as well. Let's go onto our side. And we're going to come into our side plank. So you can have your knees bent. If this feels best for you, you can have your legs, back foot is behind the front foot, and your shoulders and hips are right in between your feet there, right? Or you can stack your feet. You can leave it, or you can choose whichever version you like. But really lift your ribs away from the floor and get up out of that bottom shoulder. So we're going to take a breath here. And let's go ahead and lift the hips. Good. And hold it up. We're going to take that right arm up. I want you to look at it. And thread the needle. Twist your whole torso under. And take it back up. And twist. And let's follow the hand if you can. Sometimes that affects your balance. 3. And take it up. And 4. And take it up. And 5. And up. And 6. And up. Set the hips down for a moment. I want to add a leg lift here. So, you're in your shoulder, you're on your elbow. Try not to sink into your shoulder. If you would like to bend your knees, you can, but we're going to come into this side plank, and we're going to go up, flex, and squeeze it down, okay? So you can do it with both legs straight or bend the bottom knee, whatever works
works for you, but you're up on your elbow. So here we go, we're going back up. If you're on 2 feet, extend that arm, and you're taking that right leg up and down. Lift the hips. And 2, lift the hips. And 3, keep them up. 4, stay. 5, 6, and 7. We'll do 8. And come down. Good. Bend the knees. Grab onto your shin and take a side bend. And really reach that arm. If we bend the arm, we lose some of the stretch. So stretch the arm. Think of stretching below the armpit. You can pull on your leg a little bit and rotate forward. And center and open your chest. And center. And forward. Center. And open your chest. And center. Try to keep the arm right next to your ear. Rotate towards your legs. And center. And open the chest. And center. And just open. Let's go ahead and switch sides. So coming onto that other elbow. And extending the legs, whatever foot or knee position you chose for the other side. Try to do the same thing. We're going to lift the hips. Good. Extend the arm up, and we're going to thread the needle. And round, twist. And bring it back up. Good. And 2. And bring it back up. And 3. And up. And up. 5. And up. 1 more. 6. Lift the hips a little bit. And up. Set the hips down. Take a breath. Now whatever variation of the legs lifting that you did, go ahead and do that here. So stretching through the legs, take an inhale. Exhale, lift. Extend the arm if you did last time. And we go up and down. And push the floor away. Down. 3. Lift the hips. 4. Good, you guys. And 6. 2 more. Last one. And lower. And bend the knees. Good. Take that right arm up and over, holding onto your shin. So we just bent the knees, right? And we're side bending. And let's rotate towards the floor. And center, and to the ceiling. And center. Rotate. And center, and to the ceiling. Good. And rotate. And center, and to the ceiling. Good. Last one, rotate. Center, and to the ceiling. And center, and open. And we'll roll right back down. Working the back side of the body a little bit now. So the feet are flat or on your half toe. I'll leave that up to you, okay? If you're gonna be on your toes, you wanna make sure that as you go up, you're straight, your knee and your ankle are right over your big toe, right? You don't wanna be rolling to the little toe side of your foot. That's gonna hurt your knee, okay? And your ankles. So, arms are reaching down by your side. Let's keep the thighs in line. The knees should be in the same distance apart as your hip sockets. Arms are reaching down by your side. Take an inhale. Exhale. Imprint the spine. Really feel the low back imprinting. And then roll your hips up. Send the knees away. Take an inhale here. And exhale, rolling back down. And again, inhale.
pressing up. Feel the top of the thighs. See if you can relax your glutes a little bit, and it will allow you to get to the top of your thighs. It's kind of hard to find sometimes. Don't let your knees open. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Take an inhale here. Now soften at your throat. Roll through your upper back, mid back, waist, low back, and tailbone is the last to go down. Now we're going to do that again. Inhale here. Exhale, imprint. Roll up through the hips. Lift them up. Try to get nice and flat in front of those hip joints. Inhale here and pulse up. 2, 3. Push the floor behind you. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Hold it there. And slowly roll back down. Imprinting as you roll through the low back. Good. And hug the knees in. And we are going to bring the foam roller back. So grab it. And we're going to put it under our feet. Okay, so you should be feeling your hamstrings quite a bit. So you want to put like just the center of your foot on the foam roller, and maybe keep it fairly close to you. Arms are reaching long. Take an inhale and exhale. Imprint the spine and rolling up. Lift the hips high. Now we're going to push the foam roller out about an inch or 2 and pull it back under. Lift higher. And 2, lift. 3, stay up. 4, and 5. Hold it there. Take a breath. And soften at the chest. Try not to let the foam roller move. Keep it still. Rolling. Oh, we're going to do one more. I know, it's hard. But it's good. Inhale here. Exhale, imprint. Rolling up. That's it. And flat in the front and pressing out. And lift. 2, 3. Lift higher. Oh my goodness. Hold it. Take a breath. And roll back down. All right. Bring your knees into your chest. Let's roll the foam roller right under the sacrum. So you have to lift your hips and place your sacrum on there. And bring your knees up. And just let your legs sort of hang in the air. And then try to pull your lower ribs towards the mat. And then let's keep the knees in now. We're going to bend them back in. Hold on to the sides of your foam roller. You may have to adjust where your pelvis is on the foam roller. We're trying to roll around the sides of the hips and the glute knees on the sides and around the sacrum. So we're going to roll to the right. Rolling into the side of the hip. Should be tender, at least a little bit, some tightness maybe. You can move that bottom leg around a little bit, see if you can get into anything, and then bring it back. And go to the other side. I definitely feel it on this side. It's funny how one side can be so different than the other. And bring it back. This time we're going to drop the bottom knee. So I'm going to roll to the right. I'm dropping my right leg down on the floor. And I'm rolling, even if I can, towards the front of my hip. I'm working my way around the joint. And then I'm coming back, bringing both knees together. And I'm going to roll to the left, dropping that left leg, getting into the side of the hip joint, and rotating around the hip. And coming back. Bring both knees in. And then keep your right knee in and just send your left leg away and try to feel that openness in the front of your hip. Just let your foot relax down onto the floor and really pull that right knee in. Good, and now we're going to do a supine twist here. So take your right hand on the end of your foam roller so it doesn't get away from you, and you're just rolling, and don't force anything. If you'd rather just bend that knee on the bottom, you can, but we're just trying to get a little more diagonal pull through the low back. And come back and bring both knees in. If you need to adjust, go ahead. You're going to keep that left knee in and reach that right leg and just let it relax. Right? You're sending the thigh bone away towards the other side of the room. Take an inhale here and pull that left knee in. Reach that right leg a little bit farther. And we're going to do a little supine twist, holding on to the left end of the foam roller as you roll into the glute med, around the side of the pelvis. And then coming back and bringing both knees in. Give yourself a little squeeze, just stretching the low back a little bit more. And then let's put the feet back down, lift the hips, and just push the foam roller away. And when you lay down, your whole lower back should feel like it's just sort of melting on the floor. It should feel a lot better. Now, all those muscles, the glutes and the hips, all that stuff connects onto the pelvis, so it really can pull things out of alignment. Let's do a couple more things. I do want to get onto our stomach and work the back side of the body a little more. So we're going to do breaststroke. So your legs are right under your hips, they're together. You're squeezing your outer hips, and your hands are just right hovering off the floor next to your shoulders. Okay, so really reach through the legs, squeeze the buns, press the hips into the floor, and try to pull the navel in. Collarbones and back are wide. We're going to inhale, take the arms forward. Exhale, lift the chest like you're swimming, right? It's breaststroke. Bend the elbows and dive forward. Exhale, press back. And 3. And press back. Good. And 4. And press back. And 5. Press. And 6. Press. And 7. And press. And 8. And good. 2 more. 9. And press. Last one. And press. Bend the elbows and lengthen down. Go ahead and sit back. Take your stretch. Last one. Coming back onto our stomach. Double leg kick. So we're going to take both hands, clasp them behind your back. So I'm telling you to clasp your hands, but if your shoulders are really tight, just rest the front of your hands on your lower back, right? When we stretch to the back, if you can keep your hands clasped, that's great. If not, from here, you're just going to reach as far back as you can, okay? That way you're not torquing on your shoulder. So here we go. Hands behind the back. You're going to place your right ear on the mat. Keeping the pelvis pressed into the floor, we're going to pump the legs in 3 times. Exhale, 2, 3. Reach the arms and legs. Head goes to the other side. Bend it in. 1, 2, 3. Inhale. Exhale, right ear. 1, 2, 3. And reach. Head to the other side. 1, 2. Use your hamstrings. 3. And reach. Head to the other side. 1, 2, 3. And reach. Last side. 1, 2, 3. And reach. And down. Sit back once again. Knees wide. coming into your child's pose, but let's walk over to the right side. And still reaching away from you, pulling the left hip back. And walking the hands through the center, around to the other side, and pull that right hip back. Good, and coming back to the center. Let's come up on our hands and knees. Kind of going backwards today, but let's do a little cat and cow to stretch out that low back. So hands right under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Take an inhale here, and push the floor away for cat stretch. Drawing the belly in, turning the tailbone to the floor, pressing into the upper back. And come through neutral. Feel your head and tail reaching away from each other. And then lift the heart and tail, pull the heels of the hands down into the floor and back. And push the floor away. And come through neutral and pull the heart forward. And we're going to come back to neutral, tuck the toes, and lift the hips. Find your downward facing dog. And we are doing my favorite pigeon stretch for our hips. So the feet are just right in line with your knees and hips. You should be able to see them really well from here. Turn those triceps to the floor. Let's pick up your right leg, reach it up. Let's bend the knee first and open the hip. And take it back up to the ceiling and bring it through. We're going to bend the front knee and come into a pigeon. Make sure your left hip is turned towards the floor, right? Your knee, your thigh, your foot are all facing the floor. And let's lift ourselves up, lifting through the abdominals. And we're going to lengthen the spine as we walk down. Good. And maybe do a little rocking side to side if that right hip is feeling particularly tight. I know a lot of us have taken up running and walking, since we aren't able to go to the gym right now or do our usual cardio. So make sure you're taking care of those hips. If you're ever up in your cardio and walking and things like that, it gets really tight. All right, so let's push with the hands, come back up to sitting. Really reach through that left leg and lift the chest. Feel the hip flexor stretch and the abdominal stretch. If you'd like, you can also bend the back leg and pull it in. Totally optional, whatever feels good to you today. And then go ahead and release the leg, and we're going to tuck the back toes and take the right leg back up to the ceiling. Shake it up. And bring it back down to the floor. And let's take the left leg up. Bend the knee and open the hip. And take it back up to the ceiling. And bring it through, bending the knee in front of you and squaring your hips off. And make sure you're turning your right hip towards the floor. Right, really spiraling that right thigh to parallel. Lifting up through the abdominals, maybe lifting the chest. And lengthen the spine, coming all the way down. And breathe. Make sure you're breathing and not holding your breath. And let's walk the hands over to the left side. I don't think I did that on the other side. Let's come back to the center and maybe just rock a little side to side, getting that hip to release. And then let's go ahead and walk our hands back in, coming back up, really trying to lift, pressing the right hip forward.
And tucking the back toes. And taking the left leg, oh, I'm sorry. Let's take that quad stretch, I almost forgot. If you did that on the other side, make sure you do that. Bend your right knee in and pull it in. And now go ahead and release. Tuck the back toes.
And come up and stretch, shake it out, and bring it back to the floor. And let's go ahead and come down onto our elbows here for dolphin pose. You're gonna keep your heels reaching to the floor. Press your elbows and palms into the floor and try to pull your chest through. Lifting the hips as high as you can. Really bringing the elbows closer together and pulling your chest through, not just lifting your head. And let the head come down. Come back up onto the hands and slowly walk the hands back towards the feet. And let's bend the knees. Take a deep breath and fold the arms. And let's just shift the weight side to side, or like a little figure eight type position, swaying. Letting the weight of your head and your upper body decompress your upper back and your mid back. Shaking your head out, no, and yes. Settle in the middle. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, drop the arms. And slowly roll yourself back up. Rolling up through your spine. One vertebra at a time. Good. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for coming. Happy Monday. And I look forward to